Magic 89.9. The voice of summer.
Hi, this is Miguel, reminding you that Wild Good Times with Mo is a hilarious show. We encourage you all to exercise parental guidance. No, I'm just kidding. But we also encourage the use of your constitutional freedom of speech. Good time.
Brian, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Brian, finally, it's so hard to reach you.
I know. I'm sorry, but we're on now, so that's what's important.
Okay,
No, actually, we're sorry about it because somebody is apparently sabotaging our phone line.
Yeah, our phone line is just going crazy. But Brian, it's been a while. You haven't talked to Grace in like 2 weeks. Of course,
I missed
Bianca
you.
was here.
I've had a nightmare here tonight. I've had my computer assaulted. I've had my phone line. Someone found my phone number. So I've had phone calls all night.
Oh my goodness.
I've had death threats. Death threats. I pulled the phone out at around 4 o'clock this morning.
Well, Brian, a real quick backgrounder for those of you that are just tuning in. And of course, this is Brian Gorrell. If you've been watching the news, reading the newspapers, or going online, I'm sure you've heard about this guy.
Yes.
And you can check out his story on his blog. Brian Gorrell is spelled Gorrell. Brian, we did you a favor today because I know it's been difficult. Last conversation we had, you were asking how would you go about things in the Philippines, like since you don't have a lawyer or anything. And when we interviewed Kitty Go a few weeks ago, she recommended one of the best lawyers here in the Philippines, Argee Guevarra.
I know. I've done all my research.
And Argee is here with us.
I remember seeing you on my computer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Brian,
so funny.
But before we get to the questions, I'm sure you have some questions that you'd probably want to ask attorney here. What's going on in your life? What else is new? More death threats? Is that it?
Well, those never stop, but that's okay because, they don't rattle me too much. It just bothers me when...
Don't let them.
It just bothers me, that's all. It bothers me that somebody is taking so much time to... and money, I suppose. Someone's spending money calling me in Australia.
Yes. You know what the thing is, I haven't been catching up with your story for the past 2 weeks because I was away. And I really, I was catching it up yesterday. I read all your blogs for the past 2 weeks for like 3 hours. And then I viewed all your live blog on YouTube.
Yeah.
And all the news that you went on in ABS-CBN and all the networks and all the interviews that you had. And seriously, you made me cry last night. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so painful. And the thing is, I was just telling them kanina, just about an hour ago, how I had a first-hand experience with the law here in the Philippines, despite the fact that I've been here for 15 years. And I know how you feel when the police came to arrest you. And I'm sure you were terrified because I have been here for 15 years. I have friends here who stood by my side. I could speak Tagalog, and yet I was still scared. So I could only imagine how you felt. So you made me cry, especially with your fifth...
People understand that night what I went through. People can relate. People in the Philippines, they know what the situation's like there. They know how intimidating the police can be sometimes. And that's really all my point was telling that particular part of the story was that I was truly crippled with fear that night. I was alone and I needed help, and I had no help. And that's
you should have called me or Aaron.
But that's why it's still very painful for people to read that story because it's the truth, and nobody wants to put themselves in the position where they would actually be in that
and it actually happens almost on a daily basis here in the Philippines.
It's a fact.
Well, Brian's blog, more so than just the $70,000 that you're trying to get back here, your blog has opened up so many other possibilities, talking about human rights, talking about the justice system, all these things. That's why here. Do you have any questions for Argee? Like, I have one.
Yeah.
We talked to Brian, and he might want to come back in the future to the Philippines.
I want you to be back in the Philippines. I want to bring you personally to Boracay with Aaron and all our friends. I want to bring you there, and we're going to have some fun.
I'm definitely coming back. In fact, we're looking into that at the moment.
You are? You know what? I will personally pick you up. The moment you get off the airplane, you will see me by the gate, and if somebody tries to take you down, David, take me down too.
Grace, you're so naughty.
Oh my gosh, Grace is so fervent here. But Argee, Attny Guevarra, as an Australian, what would happen if Brian came back to the Philippines? Like, I know there's cases against him for slight physical injury and slight vexation or something like that.
Well, there's no case against me. They've been trying to reignite that this particular case against me since I've come out into the open. So there's actually no case against me. I've never been charged or arrested.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is I was merely questioned by the police that night and taken home afterwards. I was never apprehended, arrested, handcuffed. I was never put in any situation that night where I felt that I wasn't going to see the light of day again.
Okay, well, legally speaking, Attorney Guevarra, what could happen to Brian if he comes back to the Philippines?
Well, I'm just assuming that the enemies of Brian would be filing some sort of a case or probably an immigration case against Brian to have him declared as an undesirable alien.
Yes.
Well, the definition of undesirable alien is so vast that anything can be considered as being an undesirable alien.
You're not undesirable. You know, I saw your picture there.
Yes.
Someone called you ugly, and I was
You're
like,
hot.
Oh, you know what, you guys, let me tell you something. The only reason why I addressed that issue in my blog is because I got over 300 letters. So it was a concerted effort to tell me that I was ugly. So anyways, the funny thing was...
Ruin your day, huh?
Oh, no.
The funny thing was, well, it gave me an idea for a post. So my mom, you know, I sent her some of the emails. I do send her some of the shocking emails because I need her to understand that this isn't fun for me, that this isn't a trip to the park, that is a very complicated thing to deal with, to comprehend emotionally, mentally when you get these terrible letters. But you know, at the end of the day, I told everyone in my blog, you can call me as many names as you want, but the fact of the matter is I'm cute.
Oh, you are hot. I've seen you in person, and I've seen your body. Oh, my goodness.
That's a statement
people
of fact.
try to hurt me all the time, and I understand what their objective is, to try to rattle me, and I get it.
Telling
And
you're
they do.
ugly
Sometimes they're
is such a low
successful.
thing to say.
I'm not kryptonic every day.
Yeah.
I have shed tears. I do have to read some things over and over just to understand that a human being actually wrote it.
Brian, do you have a lawyer here in the Philippines, or have you been talking to anyone?
Oh, no, I don't. I do have a beautiful lawyer in the Philippines. She's so beautiful. I haven't retained her yet because obviously I haven't really filed anything yet.
Okay, well,
I don't want to
benefits...
incur the expense of a lawyer until I absolutely have to use one in the Philippines because the lawyer I use in Australia, he's one of the best lawyers in Australia, and a lot of the work he's doing for me at the moment is pro bono because he has been my solicitor for over 20 years.
Okay, well, you know, from our email here at the station, our listeners have been wondering, when you talked about the whole Hotel Intercon incident, they wanted more details and things. That's why I really wanted to ask Argee this. You know, for those people that called in, like Brian mentioned some names of big wigs, I guess, in the Philippines or in the social scene, the people that made the phone calls and got the police to get Brian, are they legally liable in any way, or
Well, apparently, based from the narration of the incident, what I gathered from the blog and from other newspaper...
At Intercontinental, this is the incident, okay.
Yeah, it appears that, it was DJ Montano. Can I mention his name?
You're the lawyer, I'm not a lawyer.
Okay. Well, just mention his name. Yeah, it's DJ Montano who filed a complaint before the... Makati PNP police station, and apparently based on that complaint the cops proceeded to Hotel Intercon to investigate, and they're well within their rights to do so. And you're actually in a vulnerable spot because you're a foreigner and you do not have the same rights as those of Filipinos.
Oh no, absolutely. I found that out very quickly.
Yeah.